Hi everyone, I'm back in Arizona camping, and today we're going to visit White Pocket. It has been very hot, about 100 degrees. We're just going to see how far we can hike out because that place is really pretty. You can just keep going and going and see even more and more beautiful places. So we are about to leave, so come with us. Here is a spoiler alert for you. We drove down on this dirt road and in this deep sand, and we shouldn't have done that because we got stuck and this trip became very expensive. So keep watching to find out what happened. When I go hiking with my dog, I am always prepared, and I'm prepared for my dog as well. So she has this backpack where she has 2 bottles of water and a little bowl to drink out of, and she gets to carry it, as well as I have these little boots for her. When the ground or the sand is hot, I put this on her, and that way she could hike with shoes on. First it feels a little funny for her when she walks a little silly, but she gets used to it and then she's more comfortable that way. So I highly recommend these products if you hike with your dogs. White Pocket is named after these rock formations. They look like a quilted blanket with pockets, and I still haven't been able to find out any information. There wasn't anything out there. I'm going to Google it to see what I find, but they're really pretty and very strange looking. I have never seen anything like this before. And this area is really nice to hike because you're walking on these rocks and they're not slippery. If you have good hiking boots or anything with traction, they're actually very easy to hike on up and down, and the views are beautiful. Very far you can actually see Utah. This is almost at the Utah border, but if you look at these rocks, everything just sort of changes and it's so amazing. There is a place not that far from here. It's called The Wave, and that is a place that you cannot just go to it like this. You actually have to apply for a permit. You have to apply 4 months ahead of time, and I think it's maybe $9 or $10. It's not very expensive, but you apply for it and then you get notified if you can get it, and that's the only time or the only way you can go. And it is said that this is the next best thing. If you're in the area and you weren't able to get into The Wave, then you can come here, and this is, you know, I mean, not quite as pretty, but it's still pretty amazing, and you could see all these waves in these rocks as well, and there are all kinds of strange formations. So this is definitely worth it. You can keep going. We tried to go out as far as we could. It was pretty hot and we've seen most of it, but you can keep going. And this is actually very close to the Utah border. This is in northern Arizona. So we are stuck in the sand. When you come to White Pocket, there is a parking lot and it says only, you know, high clearance vehicles, four-wheel drive. It's extremely deep sand. But last time we came here with my friend, we walked it and it didn't seem that deep. And there was a car down here last time that didn't seem like it was a four-wheel drive. So I said, you know what, we could do it. I don't want us to walk a quarter mile in this deep sand. We can make it. And we made it all the way down with no problems. And coming up, it didn't work because we had to come up. By the way, I'm all dirty from all this hard work we had to do here. So we had to come up, and that was the problem. In deep sand, it's easier to go down or go straight. But coming up, I put it in 4 high, 4 low. We did everything. We gathered all this wood, you know, this down wood, and put it like this, put it like this. Didn't work. I tried to see if there was an alternate route, maybe like go up, because there are bushes and everything, so it's not gonna be that deep, but everything was just too steep and it just didn't work. So I kept trying. I was like, I don't know what else to do. There's nobody here. So then I said, okay, why don't I just try really, really fast, just go. So we kind of made it, because this comes up, and then it kind of flattens out. So I thought once we're up, we'll be okay. And we're almost up there. We made it, and then it just didn't go anymore. And we kept trying, and the problem is, you know, when you do this, your wheels are spinning and you're just digging yourself deeper and deeper. And I didn't realize it, of course. That's how you learn. I try to get all this sand out from underneath. That's why I'm all dirty like this. We have no shovel, of course. I left it at home. So I had the dog's bowl. I tried to do it. I tried to do it with my hands. I got on my hands and knees in the sand and just kept going like that. And it would have worked, actually, because I got almost all the sand by then out. But I think we dug ourselves in a little hole, because I got down to the actual dirt, where it's a little bit wet, a little bit, you know, like hard. And then there's like a little, that's where the wheel is. So I said, there's no way it's going to come back up. So I thought maybe I could call somebody, you know, one of those outfitters or those guides, and maybe they could just pull us up. They just need to pull us up or pull us out of the dirt or the sand just a little bit. But I guess they don't do that. I called one place and they said, well, we're not a tow company, so we're not going to do that. But here's a tow company you can call. And I looked around, and there were like 3 of them in the area. And of course, they're very far, like a couple of hours away. So I called one of them, and they said, well, we charge $170 per hour, and it's going to be about 4 hours to 4.5. I was like, oh my gosh, that's like $700. Never mind. So I went out there, I dug some more, and I tried everything I could, and I said, it is not going to happen. So I called them and gave them my location. I said, whatever, we can't live here forever, so we have to go home. So they're on their way right now, and they said that it's 2 hours for them to get here. So they don't need to tow me all the way out. They just need to pull me out of this, maybe just this part of the area, and then I think I'll be okay. So they just charged me for now $350, which is for 2 hours, and then we'll see what happens. They should be coming within an hour, I think, maybe like 45 minutes. We've been waiting here for quite a while. We have a little bit of water left. We have some more here. We could always find something to drink, so we're not gonna die. We have a little bit of food, and the dog has some water. We're just trying to make the best of it. It's hot. It's not too hot though. I don't think it's 100 degrees, maybe 90, 85, 90. In here, in the car, we have shade. My mom finally got some shade, so it's not so bad. And that's all we can just do, just laugh, and mostly laugh at me because it's my fault. So do not drive down on this road. Just don't do it, because unless you have, you know, those off-road cars where it's way high and everything, because if you have a truck like mine where you think you're gonna make it, you might not, and then it's gonna be very expensive. So might as well just walk it. So this is my advice. So this is where we are. Mishachka. Mishachka, hi baby. You want to make sure you stay with us here, huh? In the shade. Yeah. I appreciate your loyalty. Azaz.
Tudja.
Ezt fog minket kihúzni. Hát azt nem hiszem.
Ő tudja, hát ő nincs benne a homokban, meg...
It's not gonna like jerk you really hard.
Okay.
It's gonna kind of just
pull
pull
it
you out, and then once we get going, you're gonna want to help.
Okay.
So kind of when I start going, you're gonna hit the gas.
Okay.
A little bit. You don't want your wheels to spin.
Right.
So what I always say is just feather it. Just hit the gas, let off. Hit the gas, let off. If your wheels start spinning.
Should I put it in 4 high or 4 low? 4 low can go very slow.
What are you in right now?
Well, right now it's... I think it's in 4 high.
Probably 4 high.
Yeah. This whole thing cost me just about $800, and that is because it took him about 2.5 hours to get there, 15 minutes to air down my tires a little bit, hook me up and pull me out, and then about 2 hours to get back to where he came from. It's a lot of money, but it had to be done because there was no other option. And when he was pulling me on that sandy road that was about a 1/4 mile, I would have gotten stuck probably a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. He had to still pull me. So there was just no other way. And then I followed him out all the way out to the highway. I mean, there was no other way anyways. But this way I felt safe so that if I get stuck again, he can pull me. But this was a big lesson to learn. So learn from my lesson. Don't go on this road. I mean, go to White Pocket. Yes, go visit it. But don't go down on that last 1/4 mile road. It's just not worth it unless you have the vehicle specifically designed for this. And because of this little incident we had, my truck broke down the next day. I had my throttle sensor completely give out. I think it was all that sand that got into it, and I was out in the middle of nowhere. It was just crazy. I had a friend from Fresno came all the way out with her son to rescue us. They drove 10 hours. Took him 15 minutes to diagnose and fix the problem. And then we drove back home with the trailer. And that is the end of my trip. So I'm going to make this Utah trip next year. So this was it. It was pretty, but very short. So thank you so much for watching. I will be doing some other adventures this summer, hopefully. But like I said, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.